Hey, hey, we're live. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. You guys, as you're jumping in, let us know where you're coming in from. We are going to check the comments here. My name is Jennifer Piper. I live in Kamloops, BC, Canada, and I am on here with my good friend, Dr. Phil Sleds, who is from Austin, Texas. So you got a little Canada, a little USA going on. We're not playing hockey against each other, so it should be good. Although we really should have won that game. But anyway, we are here to talk
It was
today.
a heck of a game.
It was such a good game. I was in New Zealand, actually. I watched it in New Zealand. It was a great game. But you guys, Dr. Phil over the last, gosh, 5, 6, 7 years, I don't even know how long, but we've been getting together and collaborating on these lives that are really here to help you with your health choices, right? And I find that we kind of have two groups of people that jump on these lives. One is the group of people, they're like, okay, I am all in, I am taking care of my health. I need to know a little bit more. I want to know like that extra little edge. What's going to help me? What can I do? What can I add? Then we have other group of people who are like, okay, like it is so overwhelming. Like maybe you guys can relate. You walk into, a drugstore or a health food store, and there's just like shelves and shelves and shelves of, I call it like chaos and confusion, right? Because there's so much out there. And so I find there's another group of people that'll tune in with us who are like, okay, I really want to learn. Like I want to learn and I want, to hear maybe some stories and testimonials from someone who's using it and someone who knows something about it. So let us know if you're in the first group, you're like, okay, I'm dialed in with my health, but I want to like take it next level. Or if you're in the second group who you're like, I'm so overwhelmed. Yeah, you guys, like that was me. I would say like
Too, yeah.
yeah, both. I see some ones, I see some twos. You guys, and today we're going to talk about upgrading your biology and really about the cellular anti-aging conversation. So we're going to talk about, just to kind of give you a heads up, we're going to talk about some of our old favorites, some of our new favorites, one in particular. And then at the end, I'm going to show you some really great bundle savings that we've put together for you. So lots to tune in for. And make sure you guys, as you're watching this, that you're just connect with whoever shared this with you, and they can help you and always give you a discount code. So shall we dive in? How's it going?
Dive in. Let's go. Hey, great guys. How you doing? Dr. Phil Sleds down in Austin, Texas. And we're really excited to be sharing a lot of this information with you guys because we love seeing and hearing how it helps people out in so many ways. So the passion it makes it fun. It really does. It makes it really fun for us.
It does. So, and I always like to say, like, he's the science guy. I'm the like normal mom girl who's going to try and like break it down and maybe talk a little bit about how it makes you feel. So we're going to start today. And again, like you guys, when we get into this, I want us to, really think about, I think a lot of us are really taking more of an active role in our health. And what I find when I work with my clients, I've been in this health and wellness deal for the last, 18 years. And what I find a lot of times is when I work with my clients, we might be working on their skin and they do all this great stuff on the outside. And then if we're not kind of like targeting what's happening on the inside, right? It's sort of like you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And the problem right now is we are literally bombarded every single day with like environmental toxins that accelerate your aging and promote inflammation. And I call that inflammaging, you guys. It's a wonderful term, inflammaging, right? And as we age, and you guys, if you think about it, it's like the toxins are in the food we eat, the air we breathe, what we, everything that we're exposed to. Like we're all sitting in front of these beautiful little things that also, help age us. But as we age, the process of our cellular repair will slow down, and our cells just get, like the rest of our body, less efficient at doing everything. And we have trillions of attacks every single day. That inflammation builds up, cascades. Sometimes you know it, sometimes you don't know it. And it's just these low-lying things. Maybe your weight won't move. Maybe you're not sleeping well. Sleeping also will, lack of sleep will do this. And so, we're going to talk a little bit today about A lot of times we're putting things on our skin, but we want to make sure that we're going to the root, right? Okay, so I'm gonna, pass it over to you, Phil, and let's start. Like I've always loved that you have that analogy of what happens when you cut open an apple, and I would love if you maybe kick it off with that and explain because it's such a great visual to
Yeah.
understand what's happening.
Yeah. Thanks, Jen. And love seeing where everyone's from. Want to hear where you're from, you guys. Thanks for being here. And thank you for the fun introduction, guys. So generally summed it up really well. Talking about literally trillions of attacks on our cells every single day. Trillions. It's a number we can't even really fathom. We can say it, but we really don't understand it. And so in order to really have healthy aging, we got to deflect that on some level. And we think about aging starts on the inside. So from day one, we start aging, all cells. And everything that we see outward with our skin, our hair, but also internally, our energy levels, that's what we're experiencing with these attacks. And so the aging gets expressed from the inside out. Always, always, always. And we're kind of conditioned to go, oh, I'm going to put a topical cream on or something like that, which can be beneficial, but we want to really address it at the causal level because then we can affect the whole body. Like Jen was saying, when we age, there's something we call oxidative stress. I love Jen's term there with inflammaging, and because there's things in our environment that can induce more inflammation, which can propagate and almost create a cascade, kind of a runaway situation with increased, more rapid aging, because we know two people don't always age, two different people at the same rate. But when it comes to the oxidative stress, people will hear that term, oxidative stress. What is that? Well, it's kind of like these things, the oxidative stress, it creates these free radicals. If any of you guys heard free radicals, drop the comment in there, radicals, put that in there. But it's like the analogy where you cut open an apple, or you cut open a banana or an avocado. What happens? It starts to brown. Okay, so it's these radical parts of the oxygen. We got to have oxygen. Can't have it. We got to have it in order to have life and be healthy. But when we break it down, it can yield these things that can, in fact, kind of damage and age our cells, making it harder to have healthy aging. So we need antioxidants and we need other things to come back in to repair the cells in order to see healthy outward aging. And so that's because we're kind of rusting. It's like a nail almost, your rusty nail. The same thing that we described with the apple, with the banana, with the avocado. It's the same process with a rusty nail. And that's kind of going on in our cells. So it's really hard to have good aging if we have that going on. Remember, we have trillions of cells going on in our body. And if they have a little bit of that going on, we're going to see it and we're going to feel it. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And where I want to, I think if we want to live healthier and feel our best, not just look our best, but feel our best, four things need to happen. Okay. 4 things. If we truly want to live healthier and feel our best at any age, we got to address aging at the cellular level. So we got to address it in the area of energy production. Okay. And we're going to be talking about that with regards to mitochondria. And mitochondria are like little batteries. If you guys had biology, drop mitochondria in there, you know what that is. Mitochondria, put the word equal sign batteries. It's kind of like your cells all have batteries, whether it's an eyeball cell, a brain cell, a skin cell, a gum cell for your mouth. It doesn't matter. A heart cell, they all have mitochondria. And what we know about healthy aging and longevity is cell energy is so critical. We've got to have good cell energy. So energy production is one, and we're going to do that because we want to help really sustain and improve our mitochondria. A lot of doctors in my field, we test for it. I have 2 tests on one of the lab tests I use that measures mitochondrial dysfunction and impairment. And they measure 2 different things to get those scores, impairment and dysfunction, so we can see. And a lot of people's low energy is because of mitochondria, and so I was just so fortunate to have a lot of seminars way back talking about that, because we were taught, look for low iron and look for any hidden infections and low thyroid. And that's important. Don't get me wrong. But this is like the foundation to it all. Number 2, this is a really good one, DNA integrity. We got to have good DNA integrity. That means we have to have healthy strands of DNA. I got an easy analogy here I'm going to show a little bit later. I'm a Marine, guys. I got to keep things very simple. I like pictures. But DNA integrity is number 2. Number 3, antioxidant defense. We got to have strong antioxidants. We got to have a lot of them. Okay. things that have what we call we call it an ORAC or ORAC value. It just means how much free radical activities from the oxidative stress they can absorb. And that's a good thing. We want to have a high ORAC. And then the last one, number 4, is cellular and tissue repair. We got to be able to repair our tissues so they can regenerate more healthfully. And that's how we feel healthier and younger on the inside. We also show that with our outward appearance on that. So, Jen, anything you'd like to add to that?
I love it. Okay, so hopefully you all like drop if you're surprised about any of those things. And I would say also drop it in the comments, like, you know, what is your main concern with aging? Because again, I think a lot of times we might get stuck on like outwardly appearance, but you know, you hit a certain age and then it starts to become like that, you know, waking up and being stiff and sore in the morning, or, you know, having like sluggish gut health, or, you know, starting to have these weird spots on your body. You know, I remember when I turned a certain age, all of a sudden I had tennis elbow. I was not playing tennis, nor had I done anything. And then, you know, I got hip bursitis, you guys, the next one. And these were all like, again, things. I'm healthy, I work out, I eat well, but these are all kind of like these extra little things where your body is giving you these signs, right? Of like, hey, you need to pay attention to me more and maybe do something a little bit different. But I find that a lot of my clients are looking more holistically at the whole, you know, at the whole picture instead of just specifically their skin. So let's dive into, you know, let's start talking about this.
Let's do it. So one of the things that we have, should we jump? So one of the things we like to use to help people is a patented, unique liquid form of collagen, guys. So collagen, there it is right there. Jen's got it. The most abundant substance tissue in the body, tied with actually hyaluronic acid. They actually go hand in hand with each other. If you guys have heard of hyaluronic acid, it's a mouthful. If you haven't, just HA. It's nice and easy, easier to say that way. Well, we had a form of it, and this form had a lot of awards. It was very successful, a $1 billion category actually, but it actually got an upgrade. So one of the things that we use to address repairing the body, with these, from the trillions of attacks our cells go under every single day, to help promote tissue repair and healing, to help shield our body, you know, put those antioxidants out there, is this unique liquid collagen blend. Then it got an upgrade. So the thing is, we see and we hear a lot of talk about collagen, right? If you've heard all these collagen products out there, I mean, we've seen what? Countless different collagen products on the market. They're ubiquitous. When this started, there were virtually none. And there's this secret out there in the health, beauty, and cosmetic industry that most people don't know about. And the companies aren't telling you because they're already making a lot of money on it. Because if you hear the word collagen, most people are going, oh, I need that for skin, hair, nails, and joints. Or if you hear the word hyaluronic acid, most women, at least, they understand, oh yeah, that's something that helps with your skin and looking younger, okay? Because of all the things that HA, hyaluronic acid, does in the body. It holds water in. But the big dirty secret in the health, beauty, and cosmetic industry is that collagen and HA has to be shrunk. It has to be modified if we're going to absorb it. And the factor to make it really absorbable is around 150 times. It's huge. It has to be shrunk. So that's not a made up number. That's a number we can actually show with what we have, because that's what we use. So it makes it easier to absorb. So think about this. Here's a little analogy I'd like you guys to visualize, is that in our body, if we're going to take something orally, not inject it, okay, but orally, it has to pass through the intestinal walls, okay? It has to, yes, size matters, that's right, is that it has to fit through the intestinal walls, and those holes are they're a certain size, okay? Collagen's a really big molecule, as is HA. So imagine this, you're trying to get a collagen molecule be the size of a basketball, but you're trying to push it through the intestinal walls. And this is collagen that's not modified. So this is most collagens on the market.
Not ours, not ours,
but most collagens are doing no modification at all. It's undenatured, is what they call that. So it's like taking a basketball and trying to push it through that chain fence, like your standard tennis court chain fence. You're not going to fit it through. It's way too big, okay? So you don't absorb it, because if it doesn't pass through that wall, it can't get out into the blood. If it can't get to the blood, it can't reach your hair, your skin, your nails, the gums, all these areas that you need to have collagen and HA in order to have a healthier you, and especially to get out to the skin, okay? Now with this form that we're using, it would be almost, using that same analogy of a basketball, think of now something the size of a pea, okay? Maybe pea size, and taking that, and you can just easily throw it through that chain fence without any resistance, okay? That's the modification that this has. And so it makes it highly absorbable. This is actually proven to be absorbed under the tongue, which makes it very unique. It's a proven statement. So that means it goes further. It goes farther with your aging concerns. So it can reach these critical tissues, especially the skin, from the inside out. And that's how we get all these great skin results, is because it starts at the deepest layer of the skin, the hypodermis, then it goes to the dermis, which is the thicker layer of the skin, and then out to the outward epidermis, working from the inside out. And I'll just talk about a couple quick proven claims here, Jen, that we can make with this, because this
They're my favorite. This next one's my favorite, ladies.
Because Jen's going to add on, because there's different things that we can talk about. Jen's in Canada, I'm in the US. So we want to, in the US, we want to talk about this in terms of wellness and what we're restricted to. We hope that changes. But in Canada, where you have to have more proof of supplements, they can make more robust claims based on the proof that we have. So here's a couple proven statements that we have. So one is it's proven to elevate types 1, 2, and 3 collagen. Okay, 1, 2, and 3, that's 90% of your body's collagen. You got type 2 mainly for your joints, type 1 and 3 mainly for hair, skin, and nails. Okay, so that's the 90% solution. We see all these other collagens with all these different collagen types, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, things like that. We really don't need that. Okay, they're still in this really small segment of what our body needs. It's like less than 10%. So we need that type 1, 2, and 3 to really get into those critical tissues for our aging. And oh, by the way, because of all these things I'm saying, this nutraceutical, I mean, it's been given a lot of awards, you guys. 16 industry awards. It's been featured on NBC, Good Morning America, Fox News, and also TV talk show Meet the Doctors as a premier anti-aging peptide nutraceutical. So it's a big deal. This is no small thing that we're talking about here. It has a lot of really robust proven claims. So going back to the proven statements there, proven to elevate types 1, 2, and 3 collagen in the body, proven to reduce joint discomfort and stiffness. And Jen's going to elaborate a little bit more on what they can say in Canada on that, which I wish we could say. Yeah. And here's a big one. Okay, proven to increase your hyaluronic acid levels 6,000% in 28 days. That's so remarkable, because that's throughout your entire body, you guys. So think about it. When we get injections only work temporarily, you know, as long as the injection is there. Okay, they're expensive. Sometimes they hurt, and it can't go out through the whole body. That's a huge drawback. Okay, and so with this, we can actually reach the entire body, reach the arms, we can reach the hips, the thighs, not just the face. Yeah, all those areas, the eyes. That's right, all these areas, the hair. Got a lot of stories about that. But that's the beauty of this. And so HA, hyaluronic acid, why is that important? Because it firms, fills, hydrates, and plumps. HA, I'll say it again, it firms, fills, hydrates, and plumps. And we need it in order for collagen to thrive. Okay, guys, and I'm just going to, Jen, if it's okay, I'm going to do a quick analogy here. So we're going to do a quick analogy here. Imagine that this tree branch right here is a collagen fiber, okay? So this is a younger, this is like a younger tree branch representing a collagen fiber, okay? So what happens when something's younger, it's well hydrated, right? It can bend, okay? This collagen fiber is very flexible. It can go all the way down here and snap and go all the way back up, okay? It doesn't break. Now, as we get older, we lose hydration. We need that critical HA. We need that hyaluronic acid to bathe those collagen fibers. That's very important in helping your collagen go further and farther. But again, it's also filling the skin. So if we have an older collagen fiber represented by this older tree branch, and we try to put those same stresses on it, it'll crack and kind of break. That's what can actually happen to our collagen fibers. So then when we see that, that's what kind of allows the more permanent, creases, things like that to appear in the body. So bathing your body in that hyaluronic acid is critical for helping those collagen fibers stay nice and flexible. That's what we want.
And I'll just jump in here. I think ladies especially. So again, I'm a big skincare girly. I sold skincare and makeup for 10 years of my life. And, we would always use hyaluronic acid serums and that sort of thing. And then when I started learning this, and the big thing with hyaluronic acid, I mean, I feel like it's so much more of a buzzword today, but one molecule of hyaluronic acid can hold up to 1,000 times its weight in water. So what does that mean? It plumps. So again, when you think about it, when you have your body has that 6,000% increase in HA, and that was the low end, right? Phil, like it was 10,000 was the higher end, but we
9,000, yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. So you have that. So what I do is whenever someone starts on this product, I'm like, you have to go take a before picture of your skin. Just face the window with natural light. Take a before picture. Because what happens is you get that glow, the plumping. And this is probably the biggest thing. Like I have people, I just saw someone in the comments, like you're glowing. Yeah, I am because I drink this, you guys, all the time. And fun fact, I've been taking it for almost 9 years. And both Dr. Phil and I were part of a study when we launched this product and we had to go off of it. And it was the saddest 4 weeks of my life. But I actually could, where I noticed a difference was my skin. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm looking older now. And I was just stiffer in the morning. Like my friend Victoria always talks about, without it, you're like the Tin Man, right? Like that's exactly it. Your body just feels that stiff and slow to get moving. But when we had to go off of it, that was where I really noticed a big difference was my skin. So ladies, again, that's like your, well, and men, that's your like immediate benefit. And I'll have people at that 30-day mark who they're blown away. I'm always like, take the pictures just for you. But then they start to feel the difference maybe in a shoulder or a knee, or, you know, they're not as stiff in the morning.
Uh-oh.
Is, whoops, I froze.
You just froze up for a
second.
second.
Back. I really, it really helps. So I would say that if you're starting this, make sure you take your before picture. Okay, I'm gonna pass it back to you. Let's talk about the aging enzyme.
Yeah, well, and because of what Jen said, because of that hyaluronic acid that we were just talking about, you know, that's what firms, fills the creases, wrinkles, and the visible signs of cellulite. So that's why it goes in, and that's why we have something that's specific for helping with cellulite too. It's a sensitive topic. You know, I totally respect that. You know, but it's nice to know that we have things in here that can really reach that level of the body and start to make transformations and repairing the tissues. We're repairing cells. We're repairing the body from the inside out because, again, we're addressing that aging that way. And continuing on, another proven statement that Jen was alluding to is proven to inhibit the enzyme that ages us, hyaluronidase. Okay, that's huge because hyaluronidase is a category of enzymes that actually gobble up like little Pac-Man. They go around, they're gobbling up our HA. We don't want that, okay? We don't want, it's like, stop it, don't do it. But with the inflammaging that Jen mentioned earlier and the oxidative stress and all that, we can actually speed up that activity. Not good. So we want to do everything we can to slow it down. So we have this unique size, this very small size of hyaluronic acid actually goes in and inhibits that enzyme. It's a proven statement. We can say that. So that's what gives it the very high elevation that Jen just mentioned, up to 9,000%. It's a range from 6,000 to 9,000%. That's in 28 days. 28 days. There's nothing in the world that can do that. There's still nothing proven, no medical treatment, no injection, no therapy, no cosmetic treatment that can do that. Only that. And Jen, I would love to hear just a little bit more on what you guys talk about with Canada.
Yeah, I would love to. So I added the
You froze up.
I froze again. Sorry, guys. I added the collagenase here because that's the new little perk, one of the new perks in the new blend. But let's switch gears. I'm going to talk about the Life Plus in Canada.
Yep.
So this product was launched and it has all the benefits, but it has also in it, and the nice thing, you guys, you probably can't see this, but right on our bottle on the front, it says helps to support immune function. So there's extra ingredients in here now that help with cold and flu. So that's been a new perk. So ours is a triplex immune complex, trademarked, all the things. And all of our BioCell Life and Pure in Canada relieves joint pain associated with osteoarthritis of the hip and the knee. And again, you guys, it's printed right on our bottle. Our claims on the back of the bottle are like that long. I mean, we talk about wound healing. We talk about connective tissue. I don't know why I keep cutting out, but it's been really exciting. And then the new immune benefits. So what was interesting is we launched the new Shaklee Amazing Liquid BioCell triplex in the US. Well, what happened in Canada, because we were talking about this, is our blend blew up. We actually sold out the same thing. It's been crazy, you guys. We've been like selling so much of it all over North America that it is now the #1 selling product in both markets, which is super exciting. Super exciting.
Amazing.
So that's Canada for us. So yeah, now I'll kick it back to you to talk a little bit about the new triplex in the US.
Yep. I'll just wrap it up with a couple things on this new version because it does everything that I just mentioned plus more. So the triplex is basically 3 things. We're going to protect, stimulate, and build collagen. So we have that the collagenase enzymes are gobbling up collagen. The hyaluronidase enzymes are gobbling up HA. And we're like, stop it. Don't do that, right? So now we have an ingredient in here, fucoidan, and something else too, that helps inhibit the collagenase enzymes from gobbling up our collagen. So we have a proven absorbable form that elevates the main 3 types, which are critical because that's 90% of you, 90% of your collagen. And we have something that slows down those Pac-Men from coming in and gobbling up and breaking your collagen apart. Remember the old tree branch analogy. We don't want these collagen fibers to break apart. We want them to stay as intact and supple like the young tree branch as long as possible. So our skin, our nails, our joints, everything stays very pliable and flexible. So that's the benefit of this new technology that they've added in here. And they've added something else in there to help with bone strength, okay? So it's going to make your bones very strong and flexible. Bone, in case you didn't know it, is about 30 to 40% collagen already. So if a lot of people are looking for bone health, good bone strength, especially as we age, that would be we're thinking a lot of the menopausal women, but also the andropausal men. We're not going to forget guys because we go through similar changes too. We have to be able to keep our body intact too, making bones strong. We have a bone toughening ingredient that we added in there to help compound the bone strengthening benefits. Okay, so that's really important. It's very important. And then lastly, we've had some things in there added to bolster hair growth. Well, we already had a lot of great hair growth results with the first version. I mean, tons of photos coming in from people. And now we have something in there that takes it even further. And I'll just tell you just real quickly, I have a medical doctor who actually, I've had 2 people find me through social media because during COVID, a lot of people went through COVID hair loss. So this was instrumental in helping people with that. And they said, wow, well, I'm noticing that improve. My hair's getting thicker. It's growing faster. That's what we hear. And then all these other things are changing and improving too, because that's how they came in. A lot of people come in on the product for one thing and they're like, wow, well, I don't hurt as much here anymore. And this looks great. Wow, doesn't that look great? So Jen, anything else you want to add on that?
No, I love it. And I will say though that, especially women who are watching when you head into perimenopause, it's like your bone loss can double to triple. Yeah. So this is where, again, being proactive and taking something that's going to help you. And again, I love that it helps through the full collagen life cycle. Okay, so we're going to switch gears because we want to talk about a product now. You guys, when we were introduced to this, I will say the first thing I was blown away is that it has 27 patents on one product, you guys. And then when I started diving into the research and the science behind it, it is truly an incredible product. I've been taking it now for 1 year. And the first thing that I noticed, again, now remember, I've been using this for 8 years at this point. And the first thing I started noticing, again, was like less puffiness in my face. And because our faces are always on these things, you guys, it's so easy to look at old photos and old lives. But that was the first thing that I noticed. And my friend Michelle Rogers, you guys, she did a before and after picture after being on this for 3 weeks. And the difference, the reduction in inflammation in her face, and just ask whoever shared this with you, they'll send you her photo, with 0 weight loss, was like astounding. And so this is something now that I've added into my regimen every single day. And we've now created savings bundles, you guys, around these products that I'm going to talk about at the end. So it comes in a liquid that you could mix with this at the end of the night for a little mocktail with some like sparkling water. It comes in a capsule that I love for travel. I throw it in my purse. And on the 26th of this month, we're relaunching our gum drop version of this. So like, think of like, it's almost like a little tasty treat. But if you like that kind of version, if you want more of a gumdrop kind of idea, that is there. So 3 different formats, and it comes in kosher. So I'm going to now flip it over. But again, you can mix it into a drink. You can take it straight up. I love it straight up. And it's once a day. It's simple. So Phil, let's talk a bit of the science on specifically Vivix.
Yep, exactly. Jen, great job pointing out too. We see, even though this is addressing cellular aging, at the core, at the root cause, that's where we want to address our aging. And like Jen said, she started to see results. Most people were hearing results between 5 and 9 weeks. Okay, so what does it do? What does it do? It's proven to do these things. 27 patents. It's a 2/3 reduction in DNA damage. I'm going to show you a quick little analogy. You don't want to miss this. I'm going to explain the genetic cause and process of aging very simply, just using a shoelace, okay? But it's going to reduce that DNA damage by 2/3. You're going to get a 13-fold reduction in these damaging age proteins, ages, okay? They're these, they call them advanced glycation end products, if you've heard that. Drop the term ages into the chat there. But what they are, it's like when glycated sugars get bond to proteins or fats. These can get in our cells and it can actually accelerate that oxidative stress thing. Remember going back to what I said earlier, where oxidative stress, you cut open the banana or the avocado. We don't want that to happen, so we want to slow that down. So a 13-fold reduction in that process. We actually have it's a crazy study, and it's a double blind where they gave people a McDonald's meal and one without. They did a controlled study and it blunted all the inflammation markers. That's pretty remarkable. Here's the other one though. We talked about how mitochondria, I'm going to do this. Mitochondria, there are batteries in our cells. We'll do our arms here. So we always remember when we say mitochondria, they're little energy batteries, a 98% increase in cellular energy. So that's important. So it's not caffeine. We're not just overstimulating the body. We're building energy at the source from the stamina side. That's where we need it in our cells, okay? I'm just going to rattle off because these two products are so beneficial in so many different ways. They decrease C-reactive protein, which is an inflammatory, at 36%, an inflammatory marker in the body. We see cardiovascular improvements, such as a 32% decrease in triglycerides, a 31% increase in the high-density lipoproteins, HDLs, which is really good. Okay, so what does it do? So when your cells age, it protects your DNA from damage. Okay, we know that. It increases your cell energy. It's going to blunt inflammation. Remember, Jen talked about inflammaging. Remember, that's a big thing we got to get under control in our body if we want to have healthy outward aging. And it neutralizes those free radicals. So it's going to help prevent the process, like when you cut open the avocado, from turning brown, or at least certainly not that quick. But the big one, my favorite, is it helps elongate the telomeres. Okay, telomeres. If you guys have heard that term, drop the word telomere into the chat, and I'm going to explain very easily what telomeres are using this little shoelace. Okay, so the shoelace here is going to represent what's that?
You brought the props. It's good.
I got all the props, you guys. The shoelace here is going to represent your DNA. Okay, it's like, imagine it's like a DNA helix, kind of twisted. It's not twisted. Okay, and at the end, the little caps of the shoelace, those are your telomeres. Okay, and these telomeres are special types of DNA that go in. They're like little. They cap it and they hold the shoelace together, but they also work to repair the DNA strand. Okay, so here's what we have to know. Aging happens when our cells divide. Okay, so if our shoelace, this DNA, wants to very badly make a perfect identical copy of itself. And in order to do that, it has to remain intact. Now, what happens because of those trillions of stressors, those things that we talked about that bombard our body every single day, it starts to hit these telomere caps and it shortens them. And it'll shorten them and shorten them and shorten them until eventually they break. Now, I wish I had a picture of a frayed shoelace, but you guys can visualize that pretty easily. When those caps go away, what happens? The shoelace starts to break apart. It looks frayed. That's what kind of happens to your DNA. It's the same process. So then what happens is when those telomere caps get shorter, the DNA starts falling apart and it goes to replicate. It makes a less perfect copy of itself every single time. That's how we see genetic aging. Now, with this product that we have here that we talked about, it has proven statements that it can make about repairing these little caps here, the little shoelace caps, the little telomeres. It's actually, don't have the number here, but it was proven to help elongate and repair the telomeres and prevent the shortening. So what does that mean? At a genetic level, you're improving your DNA from the inside out, okay? And it's fixing the mitochondria. Again, those little batteries are going to do the Running Man here to show you that there's energy coming out of those mitochondria. Again, two key things. And so this is what we're talking about. And this is why we start seeing those results outwardly with our aging. Jen, anything else you want to add there?
Love it. No, I love it. So you guys, I'm going to close it out now. I love this. And I will say one of the things that I've always loved doing these lives with Dr. Phil, he has a great way of explaining it. So like that just made a lot of sense to me. So you guys, we are going to now close it out. So we have brand new. So a lot of you are on our liquid biocell. So there is some new pricing, which has been exciting. Again, the new launch, new lower pricing in Canada for the two together. And we've put together what we call the GLOW protocol. And it's kind of like a good, better, and a best. So the good would be 2 bottles of your liquid biocell. Definitely go with the Life Plus in whichever country you live in. However, the better, so that you're going to get both the foundational, right, support and the cellular support, you're going to get 2 bottles of this with 1 of Vivix. And you guys, that brand new package is just launched this month. And it's like $60 off in the US, 70 plus in Canada. So make sure you connect with whoever shared this with you. And then my favorite, which we didn't dive in, but I'm going to touch on it. It's basically the best. So if you're looking for the, again, cellular plus foundational, and then you're also looking for maybe your protein needs, musculoskeletal health, vitamins, like you guys, we could dive into all of that, but there's so much more. And that bundle is our best. And again, if you're looking for something that covers off all areas and you're like, okay, I want to know I'm using good products. I want to know that it has studies behind it. I want to know that I'm upgrading my biology. We hear a lot about like biohacking right now, but you guys, these are foundational products that you will continue to use that will make a substantial difference to you. We've been watching it for the last year. But that package, the best, it's called the BioAge Reset. So essentially think about like taking your age and kind of help reversing it, which is exciting. But again, it has so much more. And that package is like 170 off in the US, 200 off in Canada, 200 plus. So make sure that you connect with whoever shared this with you. They can get you those bundles. And every month, we always have some sort of a really cool, like purchase with purchase, gift with purchase. So make sure you connect because you need to know what it is, because this month there are 2 options in both countries and they're both like stellar. It's going to be hard for you to pick just one. So I think that is everything, Dr. Phil.
That's good. And you guys, if you want more information, we have groups. We have very informative groups. We can share easy show and tell demonstrations, explanations. Reach out to the person who shared this information. We can invite you into our community. It's a free educational community. You can just be a fly on the wall or whatever, and we can teach you and you can learn about all these things, which is really, I'm big about education. So is Jen, because that is where the power is in the knowledge. So that's
the more you know, right? All right, you guys, have a wonderful night. Connect back with whoever shared this with you. They can hook you up with the savings, hook you up with the purchase with purchase, or get you into the group for more info. Have a good night, you guys. Thank you.